or the development of his business and his family's business around Bitcoin, Memecoin, fundraising, or investor raising dinners, and his family growing their own business while on the job? I'm sure.
Came home with $5.1 trillion of investment in America. It was amazing.
Mr. Lutnick, I'm asking you, did the question of conflict of interest come up?
Hey folks, welcome back to the channel, Freedom Forge. And today I want to talk about something that's got me fired up. I just watched this congressional hearing. Mrs. Dean, Democrat from Pennsylvania, grilling a Commerce Department official. Let me tell you, the left never misses a chance to attack President Trump and America First policies. And this hearing is a textbook example. Let's break it down together, and I'll give you my take as a proud American, a patriot, and someone who actually wants this country to succeed, not just score political points.
For hanging around for a second round. I wanted to first, Mr. Chairman, just offer for the record some articles and documents. The first is a Washington Post article of this week entitled, "We Are Witnessing the Suicide of a Superpower." The second is, as Ranking Member revealed, the report from Yale Budget Lab titled, "The State of U.S. Tariffs, June the 1st of this year." One of the highlights, American consumers face the highest average tariff rate they have endured since 1938, the Great Depression. The next one, U.S. Trade document, U.S. Trade Representative titled, "Reciprocal Tariffs Calculations and the Flawed Formula." I'm sure you know this formula very well, Mr. Secretary. It is incoherent and flawed. I enter that for the record. And a New York Times article, April 7th, the Trump White House cited my research to justify tariffs. It got it all wrong. And the final one, which was revealing of my use of the banana here, "Bananas to car seats. Walmart warns of price rise due to tariffs." For the record. Without objection? Thanks so much. I want to ask you about, I was interested in what you said to Mr. Morelli in terms of the mission and some of the language you used, the mission of your department, to protect, defend, and enhance business in America. That was a good summary?
Sounds good.
I think that's what you said. I tried to write it down fast.
Still sounds good.
I just wonder, did your department, did you personally, or your department, whose mission that is, have any problem with the president's recent trips overseas or the development of his business and his family's business around Bitcoin, Memecoin, fundraising, or investor raising dinners? Any worry with the Department of Commerce, with the president and his family growing their own business while on the job?
My trip to the Middle East was extraordinary in that
sure.
we came home with $5.1 trillion of investment in America. It was amazing.
Mr. Lutnick, I'm asking you, did the question of conflict of interest come up for the leader of the free world?
No.
No? I think you ought to have a team of lawyers take a look at that. It is grotesque, the way this president is using his office to enrich himself, his businesses, and his families. That ought to be something you're interested in. I want to tell you something I agree with you on, and I agree with the president on, the closing of the de minimis loophole. You're absolutely right. It hurts retailers when stuff comes in here, package after package, order after order, under $800, no tax, no tariff, no review. It hurts retailers. But I know the other reason that I believe the president is interested in that is in tackling the precursors of fentanyl and making sure these packages don't come in unabsorbed, unknown, and then off to Mexico to only come back manufactured and to kill our children. So I want you to know, I want the president to know, that's a good thing. And I hope it brings great revenue to our Treasury. It should. We have passed on that at the expense of our children and at the expense of retailers.
Thank you.
So please take that back. And finally, I guess I want to tell you, do you know when we met? I don't know if you remember. We met once in Davos. We had a very interesting conversation. And you told me some of your backstory. And this goes back to where I started with stability. I think it is very well known that when you began college, your father died. What a trying time that must have been, because your mother had predeceased. And you were at Haverford, very near my district. And Haverford College said, stay. You stay. Get your education. And you did. And they offered you that stability at a time when you must have needed it most. I had a similar experience. My father died when I was in my 3rd semester of college, suddenly of a heart attack. Difficult. We were all wobbling for quite a while. But his company offered scholarships to kids who lost their parents. And I got a scholarship to go to law school, offering me stability that I had no idea I would ever lean upon. I take you back to that, because what have you done in the meantime? You rewarded Haverford. You're making sure that other kids get that stability. Please take that back into your work in the Department of Commerce. You know stability is what our consumers, our constituents, our businesses, our banks need. This is not stability. It is an incoherent tariff policy that is costing every single one of us.
Mr. Mervyn.
So, right off the bat, Mrs. Dean starts off by entering a bunch of articles into the record. Washington Post, New York Times, Yale Budget Lab. Honestly, it's the usual suspects. These are the same outlets that have been trashing Trump and conservatives for years. They call it reporting. I call it left-wing propaganda. She's quoting a headline, "We are witnessing the suicide of a superpower." Well, yeah, we are, but not because of Trump's tariffs. It's because of open borders, inflation, and the Democrats putting America last. She talks about tariffs like they're the end of the world. Folks, every country protects its own industries. China's been ripping us off for decades. And finally, we had a president willing to stand up and say enough. But to the Democrats, that's a problem. Let's be honest. The mainstream media hates anything that puts America first. Mrs. Dean is just parroting their talking points instead of defending American workers. Now about these tariffs. She cites a Yale report saying Americans are facing the highest tariffs since 1938. You know what? Good. For too long, American businesses and workers have been taken to the cleaners by China, Mexico, and every other country that dumps cheap goods on our market. We finally had a president who used tariffs to negotiate, to get better deals, to bring jobs back, to protect our steelworkers and manufacturers. Tariffs aren't some evil tax. They're a tool. And when used right, they work. Just look at how China suddenly wanted to talk trade when Trump pushed back. The left acts like tariffs are going to destroy the country. But what's destroying the country are policies that let our factories close and ship jobs overseas. Also, Wall Street can pad their pockets. Then, Mrs. Dean tries to spin up this nonsense about conflicts of interest with President Trump's business and his family. Give me a break. Every president before Trump was a career politician. Never built a business, never signed the front of a paycheck. Trump comes in, puts his business on hold, loses money being president, and they still attack him for it. Meanwhile, look at the real corruption. Hunter Biden, anyone? Foreign business deals, selling influence, and the media covers for them. But when Trump's family succeeds, it's suddenly a crisis. It's a double standard, and Americans see right through it. And this talk about Bitcoin and Memecoins, just more distraction. The Democrats want to talk about anything except the real issues: crime, the border, inflation, and China. Now, to give credit where it's due, Mrs. Dean actually admits something important: the de minimis loophole. This loophole lets foreign packages under $800 come into the country without tariffs or taxes. It's killing our small retailers, destroying American jobs, and, most importantly, letting fentanyl and other drugs pour into our communities. Trump wanted to close it. Republicans have been screaming about it for years. Finally, there's bipartisan agreement. But why did it take so long? Because the Democrats are more worried about offending China than protecting our kids. Mrs. Dean says, "I hope it brings great revenue to the Treasury." You know what? I hope it brings jobs back to Main Street, USA. That's what matters to me. Then, she tells this story about stability, how losing a parent in college made her wobble, and how a scholarship helped her out. I sympathize. A lot of Americans know hardship, and we believe in helping people get back on their feet. But what Mrs. Dean doesn't get is that government isn't the source of stability. Freedom is. The stability Americans want is economic opportunity, secure borders, safe streets, and a government that works for us. Not for special interests, not for globalists, not for China. She talks about incoherent tariff policy. I call it America first. It's not about making the world happy. It's about making America strong. So here's my message to Mrs. Dean and every Democrat who thinks they know better. Stop listening to the New York Times. Start listening to the people who build things, who feed this country, who defend our freedom. We need tougher tariffs, not weaker. We need to close every loophole that lets China cheat. We need to put American workers first. And if you want to talk about stability, it starts with a strong economy, a secure border, and a government that puts America, not Beijing, not the United Nations, America, first. That's what Trump tried to do. That's what real patriots want. And that's what I'll keep fighting for every single day. If you agree, smash that like button, share this video, and let me know in the comments. Are you sick of the media and the Democrats putting America last? Or do you want to see this country be strong and free again? God bless you. God bless our troops. And God bless the United States of America.